Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to go fitting a few hard drives. Got a couple of hard drives. I've got two here, one for backup. And I'm going to be fitting these hard drives, or one of these hard drives, into my Tyros 2 keyboard. And I'll show you how to do that, plus formatting the disk. And I'll show you what's needed and the tools you needed. Quite a simple process, but I'm going to go through step by step on how to do it. But first I'm going to take a few comments that I had from my, what was it called, Yamaha Tyros hard disk removal video. So some of that, there's a couple of comments there, and it's related to the hard drives in your Tyros keyboard or your PSR 8000 or other Yamaha keyboards. So it's a couple of related comments. So here we go with the comments. Okay, so we're going to take a few of your comments. So I have a comment from Mike Vaughan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So he said, fantastic, this also saved the day as my internal hard drive was not recognized. Due to this video, it was resolved in less than a minute, plus saved me a trip to the repair shop, delays, plus around £60 in fees. So I love to hear that. You save money as well. All I did was follow the instructions, remove the hard drive and refitted it and tightened the screws. It now works perfect. Due to the life on the road, the contacts can vibrate apart and cause things not to work. And then he said maybe the presenter, which is me, could add that it could solve this problem when the hard drive is not working. So my sincere and heartfelt thanks to the presenter. Well, my sincere and heartfelt thanks to you as well, Mike. And what Mike said there is very true. So if your hard drive in your Tyros doesn't work, if you remove it and refit it again, so it's called resetting the hard drive, and it can cause the hard drive to work. And of course, if that doesn't work, then you may have to look into fitting a new hard drive, which is what we will be doing today. Okay, so reseating the hard drive. So we open the 4 screws, take off the back plate, and then we just open the release screw here. Don't lose the screw. And then we just remove the hard drive like that. That's the hard drive. Okay. And then we sink the hard drive back, carefully back in place again. And then you just close up your Tyros or your PSR 8000 or whatever keyboard you have, and try out your hard drive, and that might fix the problem. If that doesn't fix the problem, then we have to go on and replace the hard drive. Now on a second comment here from Hendrik Sorberjaski. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Excuse me if I'm not. He says, I had a PSR 8000. Now the PSR 8000 was a great keyboard. I had one for many years. And he had this keyboard and he had a problem with the disk drive. It does not read. Can this disk be repaired, or should I replace this disk? So he tried resetting the disk. That didn't work. He has got a new disk here, he says. First of all, it's a very small capacity disk you need. It's an IDE old style 2.5-inch disk. And it's the capacity of 850 megabytes or more, but the 8000 will only read 780 megabytes. Now we're talking megabytes here, not gigabytes, megabytes. Even if the hard disk itself had a higher capacity, so the smaller the drive, the better. And we are talking megabytes and not gigabytes, so we're talking very small. So if you could pick up a disk, something like 1, 2 or 3 gig or 4 gig or 6 gig or 10 gig or something small capacity, disk. Now, as for formatting the disk, which we're going to be doing today as well, I'm going to show you how to do that on the Tyros. It also applies to the PSR 8000 and a lot of the Yamaha keyboards. So we're working on a FAT32, which is the old FAT32 system for formatting, for the file format. So we need to format the disk inside in the keyboard. Now, you could format the disk, of course, of FAT32 on your PC, but I recommend that you fit the disk in your keyboard and format the disk using the tools in there inside of your keyboard, and that will give you the correct boot and everything from your hard drive. Okay, so I hope that cleared all that up, and thanks for your comments there as well. Okay, so we need one hard drive, which we have here, so let's talk about that first. I recommend 120 gig maximum. Don't go above the 120 gig, and that's what Yamaha also recommends. You can go 60, 40, whatever below that, but don't go above the 120. It will read, I believe, up to 134 gig somewhere there, but there's no guarantee that it will read the disk if you go over the 120 gigabytes. So this is a 120 gig hard drive. It's an IDE HDD hard drive with the 32 pins. So you can see all the pins here. So there is a moving head in this disk. So it's not static. So there are moving parts within the disk because it's of the older style. Now I'm also going to talk about, when we have this fitted, I'll talk about formatting the disk, and I recommend that you format the disk with inside on the Tyros keyboard itself using the tools there that are provided. Now you could do the course on a laptop. Even the modern day laptops have a facility for formatting in FAT32, which if anybody remembers Windows 95 or Windows 98, that was the FAT format that was used back then. The second thing you will need is a crosshead screwdriver like that, and if there's a bit of magnetism on it, that's good, as long as you don't get it near the hard drive. Just be careful. So that's all you need. So now we're going to get started. Fit the hard drive and format the hard drive. A fairly quick job. All you need is a bit of knowledge and a bit of care. So here we go. There as well. Now, so we've taken the cradle out of the bay here, held in with one screw, and we've taken off the back plate. And if you already have a hard drive in here, you're replacing it, you just remove the hard drive. If not, you'll have a tray like this. Okay, so this will hold your hard drive. So then we just take our new hard drive here. Now we'll try not to hold it by the edges and try not to touch that part of it. So that's the hard drive. It's got all these pins on it. So it's an IDE hard drive, and you can see it's got 4 holes, and the pins. So this is the way your hard drive will be, and this is your cradle. So take your cradle like that, and this will be down on top of your hard drive. So, and you line up the holes like so. Hope you can see that. This part here where the one screw goes will be facing, your hard drive pins will be facing that. That's the way your hard drive's going in. And then you just take your 4 screws. This is where the magnetic screwdriver comes in handy. Just be careful when you use a magnetic around hard drives that you don't be too aggressive and be touching on the part of the hard drive. So just be careful, because hard drives don't like magnetic stuff. So Right, so normally now I go crosswise, corner, corner. Because then you can line your hard drive up better by doing it that way. Just a little tip there for all these hard drives that I fitted. And don't fully tighten maybe as well until you have your hard drive lined up, because sometimes the holes mightn't exactly line up. So, right, like in that case. So there you go, I ignore my own bit of advice. And I got caught out, didn't I? Yeah. So there you go. Now, just get this screw in. Now you see, there we go now, it's gone in. And now you can tighten them all up. Don't over tighten. Just enough. But you don't want to retread the screws either, so. Okay. And now, carefully, we will fit the drive in the bay. And that's this gone in. And now we'll put the holding screw in next. Now a magnetic screwdriver again is very handy. You want to make sure that screws don't fall inside in your board. And because you don't want to be fishing, as I do fishing in the back end, we don't want to be fishing screws out of your keyboard. So that's your hard drive now held in place. That's it, basically. And then we just put on the face plate. Right. Got our 4 little screws here for that, to hold that on. Right. It's as simple as that. So just with a little bit of care, it's only a couple of minutes of a job to replace the hard drive. Okay, tight. Tight. And yet again, not over tight. Well, you don't want to retread the screws. That's what you don't want. Okay, that should be sufficient. So now, next job is to format the hard drive, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And the best way is to do it in your keyboard, and as I said before, format your hard drive in the keyboard itself, and then everything should be fine. Okay, so that's the next job, right? Okay, so we're going to format the hard drive. So I've switched on my Tyros, new hard drive fitted, switched on my Tyros, and on the screen you can see that I've got unformatted hard drive. To properly use the hard disk with the instrument, you need to format it. So you go to Function Utility Media and make sure there's no important data on the disk before formatting, otherwise all will be deleted. And of course, it's a brand new disk we're after putting in here in the Tyros. So there'll be no data on the disk. Now, if this doesn't come up, it might mean that it hasn't found the hard drive, and then you may have a problem. So it's good that this has come up. So we just go to S button here, and we click OK to that. And then we go to Function, Utility, and then we scroll over here then with these tab buttons to Media, and you see hard disk 1 is up there on the screen. Initialize media, all data will be deleted, so we just go Format. Okay, so a new message comes up, are you sure that you want to format this disk? HD1, so that's hard drive 1. Make sure there's no important data in the disk before formatting, otherwise all data will be deleted. So we're going to say yes to that. We want to format the disk. After formatting, select the drive. The instrument will be automatically restarted. Continue. Okay. And you say OK to that here. OK. And then it says here now, it says now formatting. So we just have to wait until the disk is formatted. So it could take a while. Complete. Restart instrument. Okay. So now it's doing a reboot here. You see there now starting up. So let's go back into the function, utility, media. Okay, so it said size 111.770 gigabytes. Now it's supposed to be 120 gig hard drive, so that's effectively what it will use. When you put in your 120 gig hard drive, it will use 111. Or it might be different, but in mine that's what it's going to use. So I've got that gigabytes free. So that's nice space to have it. So and then you just say OK there. Hey, now your hard drive is all set up and ready for use, and you can record onto it and put style files on and information and whatever you want to do. So your hard drive is now formatted and ready to operate. So that's it.